Knicks Rehab.
Just hit the rumor mill the last couple hours or so. Jose Alvarado is highly likely to be a part of a potential agreement expected in the coming week or so with the New York Knicks. That's big Knicks energy. But here's Ian Begley from SNY. I think he's doing his own thing here. I think with Helmy. Let's see what Ian Begley had to say about this Jose Alvarado situation.
Teams around the league are just keeping an eye down there to see who's New Orleans going to make available. What will they want for those players? New York product, Jose Alvarado. If they make him available, the Knicks, I'm sure, will be one of those teams that are interested. The Knicks will be among many teams that are interested in Jose Alvarado if he is made available. And the interesting thing with Jose is, salary, I believe he is at $4.5 million. So like salary matching is less difficult at that number. And, you talk about backup point guard for the Knicks. You talk about a player in Alvarado who defends and brings a passion on that end of the floor. I'm sure a lot of teams will be calling if New Orleans made him available. I'm also sure the Knicks will be one of them if New Orleans gets to that point, which I think they will.
Jose Alvarado from Brooklyn, Georgia Tech, energetic. He's shooting decent this year. I think 38% from three, but 44% from the field. He's a pesky guy. I love to be excited, but I see some trade proposals that are nasty. One of them said Pacome, Dadiet, and Tyler Kolek for him. I think that was Knicks Recap. I'll pull that up real quick. A guy named Troy from Knicks Recap. Don't think it's official. Trade proposal for the Knicks to land Jose Alvarado. Knicks receive Jose Alvarado, and the Pelicans will get Pacome, Dadiet, and Tyler Kolek. I guess because the money matches. Outgoing $5 million from the Knicks, incoming $4.5 million.
I'm kind of on the fence. Moves like this is, what you have to make, to become champions. Little subtle moves like this, but I don't know about letting go Tyler Kolek just yet. Like, I'm liking how he's starting to look on the floor as far as just running the offense. He doesn't look afraid or shy anymore. So I don't know about giving up on Kolek yet, but I would love an Alvarado on his team. I'm gonna be honest. He plays defense. He's a pest. He's another ball handler, which we desperately need. 38% from the three, which isn't great, but it's not bad. So he definitely, can shoot half decent from the three. And just what he brings to the table on the floor, just the energy, the toughness. Listen, he's New York born, Brooklyn in the building. So I think guys like that you can always use on a team. Is just what would you have to give up? Like I said, I was the first to say Kolek wasn't looking ready. But as time comes and he plays a little more and more, Kolek starting to look a little comfortable. But remember, we're in ready win now. Kolek, I would predict it for the future, but we're ready to win now. So this move right here, I don't know how to feel about it. Like I said, I like it, but to give up on Kolek now, I understand, but I don't know. I don't know, but we definitely could use a guy like this. So for me, man, give up Yabusele. I know that the contract something might not match, but get rid of Yabusele. Let's figure out a way to get rid of him. If you want me to be honest, but I think a guy like Alvarado would be a great fit for this team. But for me, Fabian, we need a wing. That's what we really need. We need a backup wing. We need somebody that's between 6'6" and 6'8". That's a 3-and-D guy that can defend and can knock down a three at a 38 to 40% clip. That's what we really need. To keep going after these little guards. Remember, you would have him. If Kolek is there, still Kolek. You got Deuce. You got Shaman. Like, these are little guards. So for me, to continue to keep going after little guards, but we do need another ball handler. But I would prefer us going to get another wing. I think that's what we need more desperately than anything. we have enough little guys. But like I said, Alvarado, just his energy and what he brings to the table, I think, he's made to play for the Knicks, for a New York team. But, I just feel bad for Cole because he's starting to get his feet wet a little bit and he's starting to look a little comfortable. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes I like how he look on the floor because he's kind of the only real ball handler besides Brunson, and he's looking to get guys involved. Everybody else, we don't have guys that can run the offense, that can actually get guys the ball in certain spots. So, it's gonna be sad to give up Kolek, but we in win now mode, so I get it. But I like the move. I don't love it. Like I said, it's not a big splash, but the Knicks are starting to understand and see the small window that is open, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what can we do to solidify us getting to the finals? Because let's be honest, the East isn't wide open. It's between us and Detroit. Everybody else, you can forget about it. And I'm pretty sure we're looking at Detroit like, okay, this is probably who we're going to see in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I just think, the front office is trying to figure out what I've been saying. We have to win now. We have to win now. If it's not now, when is it ever going to be? So for me, let's see what happens. But damn, I was just starting to get the light to see Kolek on the floor a little bit. But I understand it's business, and at this point, a guy like Alvarado, what he brings to the table, we desperately need. If he was 6'6", 6'7", oh my God, it would be a match made in heaven. So to me, that's the only thing. But listen, 38% from three, can run the offense, can handle the ball, pesky on defense. So, I could just imagine the lineup with him, Shamit, Josh Hart in the game, just running the muck, just getting on everybody's nerves on the defensive end. So, I like the move. I don't love it, but I think this is just a small splash of what we're potentially going to do. I think we're going to make another one or two big moves because, like I said, the time is now. The time is now. So, let's see what happens.
As you were talking, I started thinking about Deuce. He sprained his ankle, headed to the Orlando Magic game, rest of the NBA Cup, this tournament. Think you can't give up Yabu, and I know that was a proposal by Knicks Recap, so I'm not sure how to seriously take all that. We could come up with trades like you just threw out Yabu Selly out there, but this really this means that Deuce McBride is hurt, and they expected him to miss a month or something. There's no way he's going to be back in a week or two. And the kid is strong. The kid Deuce, he's a football player really, and Jose Alvarado, same mindset. It seems like Brooklyn. He acts like he's from Brooklyn. I love it. Big body, energy. But I love that side of it. To your point, giving up Kolek and Dadiet, if that is the case, if that is what they're thinking, where is Kolek and Dadiet on a trade rating? Like, what is their trade value if it's for
Exactly?
I'm a little bit disturbed by that. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. The potential for Kolek, is it higher than Alvarado? I don't think it's maybe same level because Kolek on the offensive end can bring something. Alvarado obviously just tough nose. I don't say he breaks up a lot of plays, but he's always active on defense, just being a pest. And then the referees respect him too on the defensive end. That's the other thing that I always talk about, that we always talk about, where Anthony Towns is not going to get the foul call. He doesn't have the reputation for it. But to bring more guys with this sort of reputation, now this is what we're going back to from 2 years ago with the Knicks, 3 years ago under Thibs, and what the Pistons are transforming into or have transformed into. Orlando Magic have transformed into. They're going to get calls. So we got a guy like that just, that mucks things up, as Flea would say. Shout out to Flea in the chats.
Flea, what up, baby?
We need that. We need that. It's just, what are we willing to give up? And if this is what we're giving up, not sure. The cat trade, I think at this point we're all comfortable with it as long as we're healthy. We only revisit it back when if we lose or something, or we're not looking good. But for the most part, there's a lot of trades that is still up in the air. The Mikal Bridges thing, and losing Dante, we lost depth. We the way we lost, even losing Grimes. A lot of these things were like, yo, could we have handled that better? And I think, for people to just be putting their reputations on the line with their sources for Jose, then I like the energy, but it's not big. I just think we got to replace Deuce in the meantime. I think that's what's happening. And I don't think the other thing is how hard would it be for him to fit in? With the Pelicans, I think he would be hyped to come here. I think he's out to prove himself. He's a younger version of, I can't believe I forgot homeboy's name last year that fast. He's been on 20 teams. But I don't mind it. I don't mind the trade. We lose Kolek. What's the real upside? We're going to get stops with Alvarado. We get a different kind of energy. Backup point guard who could really play in the NBA. Undrafted dude, by the way. So I got to look forward to that. He can shoot a little bit, can bring the ball up, and he's tough. That tough mindset. He might change things up. Like, we need him to start some things up for Cat to break up and Cat to get involved. Might need to get, influence these guys in a more aggressive New York style manner. Everybody, cats from Jersey. These guys act like they're from New York. That's why you love the PJ when we signed PJ Tucker. You can act like you from here. Alvarado's from here. He knows what it's about. He's gonna be an energy guy. He knows what to say. So I'm with you. I ain't jumping out the window because we got Jose Alvarado, bro.
But you know what? You said something that got me thinking, and maybe this is why, trades with us with the big names hasn't happened yet. Dadiet and Kolek, what are their value? So now, like you say, when we go to try to make a splash and make a trade, you try to throw those guys in it. Organizations, the front offices going, we don't want them.
Right.
So that's why, now it's like, damn, we really got to think about, do we have to give up one of our core guys? Because, with Hart, Bridges are OG. Because, if we got to give up Kolek and Dadiet for, no disrespect, Alvarado, salute. You know what I mean? So for me, that's why I told you, I don't know if I'm jumping on that deal. I would try to get him for less if that's possible. Because I understand Deuce is hurt, and I don't think this has nothing to do with Deuce. Jordan Clarkson, he's up and down, but he's doing half better than what we thought he would be doing. Right? He gets in tough spots where he looks terrible, but then he'll bounce right back. So for me, I'm just tired of going after the little guys. Like, we need some height, some depth. We need some big guys over there. Because let's be realistic, Josh Hart is always playing bigger than what he really is. So we need somebody to help on that end. So I would prefer, like I said, getting a guy between 6'6" and 6'8". That's going to help out on the defensive end, rebounding, things of that nature. To get another little guard, that's not dynamic. I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at it, but at the same time, I'm not going to jump for joy and be super happy. Is this one more piece or one more step closer to winning the championship? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if I'm Alvarado, I would love to be playing for the Knicks right now than to be playing for the Pelicans. Told you I love the city of New Orleans, my second home, family out there, beautiful city, beautiful people. But like I've been telling you, that organization, that city cares nothing about basketball. That is a football town. Eventually, they're going to have to sell that team or move it somewhere else. So, like I said, for Alvarado, this makes perfect sense. But like I said, for our Knicks, I want to go after a big guy. Like I said, a big wing. But I don't know. Let's see.
I'm in the same boat. I'm more concerned, like I said, with Deuce McBride. If you guys haven't heard, Jose Alvarado is rumored to come to the Knicks. Knicks Recap, Troy from Knicks Recap, he threw the rumor out there. He put a proposal out there for Tyler Kolek and Pacome Dadiet to go get him. So it's not official. We just going with the Knicks Twitter vibe, the rumors, and that's what we do. You got a problem with that? I don't know what the hell to tell you. All I know is me and my guy here, old boy, we chilling. And one thing we definitely do, and the Knicks better do, Leon Rose, you better be on it. Keep your eyes on the prize. Baby Bubba. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. ALLBALL TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.